Super Challenge. When was the last time you saw someone of color on TV speaking articulately about anything? I'm willing to bet it was either about sports or music. And I don't think that's for no reason. I think black people, especially black men, are allowed to speak articulately and with intellect about two subjects: sports and music. So when you search for content from someone that is of color, that is articulate and intellectual, more likely than not, what you will find is that the content is either about what? Sports or music. Is that because black people are only equipped to be intellectual when it comes to physical activities or music? Or is it because, to varying degrees, we ourselves only feel comfortable being outwardly intelligent when it comes to music and sports? What am I saying? With all these big words, what am I saying? I'm saying there's so many things that historically we have done as a people. There's so many things that we have done historically as a race that are undiscussed, unresearched, and unexplored, either because A, we're intimidated, or B, we simply, like, flatly, two-dimensionally are unaware of it as an option, right? So, long story long, what I'm saying is black people have the capacity to be articulate and intellectual about anything. And we're not only articulate and intellectual when it comes to music and sports. And if you watch television or you do a quick Google search, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, if you are going to hear a black person speaking articulately and passionately and freely about anything, it's typically a sport or music. And the only question I pose is, and I'll leave you with, is why haven't you heard a black person speaking about art intellectually at the same rate as you've heard a black person on Sports Center or ESPN or a podcast or Hot 97 or whatever talking about sports and music? I do not think it's for no reason. I think we have participated in conditioning ourselves to believe that that is the zenith of our intelligence. And if it exists outside of sports and music, it is to be considered, quote unquote, white people shit. I can't tell you how many times growing up I got told producing art is some white people shit. Not because it actually is. It's just because none of the people I grew up around in Queens, New York City were conditioned to understand that this is something you have available to you at the same rate as sports and music. It's just a random thought I had randomly. Take it, do with it what you will. But again, I challenge you. Ask yourself, when was the last time you heard a black person, particularly a black male, speaking articulately about anything on TV, film, or radio? It was probably about music, hip hop, or sports. It definitely wasn't about fine art.